Welcome to Late Night Gaming. I'm Poem, and I'm with my friend TowerNumberNine. What's up, Tower?
Wha- What's going on, guys? Happy to be here doing some commentary for I believe this is round 6 of Swiss from the San Francisco Planetary Qualifier.
Yep, and we've got Cody Rose, who we saw in round 5 on the Bosque Blue, and then we've got Brandon running Sabine Green, and an Alliance X-Wing deployed in the Space Arena. Top target played on that.
Quick setup for a potential bounty later on. Looks like Brandon just taking initiative rather than going for a Sabine ping at this time, which is a little interesting because I do think it's very likely to see a Bossk ping here, but there is that chance that you do Sabine's ping and the Bossk player immediately takes initiative and then hits you with a Power of the Dark Side or something. So I think Brandon may be trying to get the guaranteed swing in with his Alliance X-Wing. If he has a Fleet Lieutenant or Wing Leader, that would also be very helpful in this scenario.
Yeah, I could see the claim there being a wing leader or fleet lieutenant related.
Wing Leader is really high value against some of these villain control decks because not only does it buff an existing unit, it also provides a relatively weak sacrificial unit that you don't mind losing to a Power of the Dark Side. But it looks like a Fleet Lieutenant swing, 4 damage there. Top target on the Alliance X-Wing is not going to heal for the full value because an Alliance X-Wing is not a unique unit. So it's only going to heal 4 instead of 6 as it would if it were on a unique target. There's a Power of the Dark Side. And Brandon loses the Fleet Lieutenant there, keeping his X-Wing on the field. It's pinged again by Bosk. In this situation, he might have had the opportunity to use Sabine's ability, but who's to say? Maybe Bosk would have just taken the initiative.
Interesting choice by Brandon there to lose his full health fleet lieutenant over that X-wing. What,
Yeah, I think
what
he
do you
didn't
think
want to
he's
give his
thinking there?
opponent the heal, maybe,
I mean, that heal's
but it's
happening
going to,
anyways, That heal's going to
right.
happen. So it's just,
Maybe
you
he was
know.
hoping to draw into a wing leader to buff it and get it out of range of the Bosk leader ability kill there. So he does manage to get another swing for 2, but his X-Wing then falls to Bosk's leader ability, and we see a heal of 4 on Bosk's base.
Yeah, just a weird interaction the way that whole thing played out because if he's got a 3 attack unit instead of a 2 attack and the 3 attack has an extra health on it.
Yeah, I think it
It's
might have
just
been better to leave the Fleet Lieutenant. Ooh, nasty. Cody plays Dr. Pershing. Brandon gets Sabine on the field only for a forced choke to immediately remove her.
so in this stage of the tournament, I think I'm in table 2
Hey,
and
congrats.
and and I think I end up just kind of struggling for a couple rounds, but then I'm not never on stream because I can kind of tell you I make it top 8 and just get absolutely obliterated by I guess I yeah, we don't have that one on stream, so I can just say, but I get obliterated by the Han 2 blue.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
You were telling me about that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, K2SO eliminated by a takedown. Brandon opts to deal 3 damage to the base. That tends to be the selection when you're in this sort of matchup. Um, Fighters for Freedom on the field. Bosk deploys. He should be. So if I'm Brandon, I'm not happy with how this game's going. By the way, this is
Oh yeah.
Bosk
This
feels
is
pretty in control here.
this just feels like just scoop it up, but it's
Yeah, I mean the
it's
games are
around it's
fast enough.
round
You
6.
usually don't scoop for time,
Yeah,
but
it's round 6, so you might as well just keep it going. You never know. But so I
one of
remember
the things.
why I was talking about myself was the force choke. I felt like that card, if I really wanted that card in my Boba Red deck after the tournament, I was like, I wish I had
Hmm,
included that. I felt like
it can
that
be very
card,
strong.
yeah, just it's basically a pay one with Boba Fett, and obviously they get a card, but just this there's so many like the Han 2 blue plays their Poe Dameron and they damage it. It's weak. You just need to clean that baby
Right.
up.
Yeah, you just clear it off the field immediately. Yeah, they get a card, whatever. It's
Yeah,
probably worth it to not get hit for 6 and then potentially Poe triggers.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I think that's the card. Good old-fashioned mitigation I think is good in this game, even if you're not playing a control deck, to have a couple mitigation pieces in your deck if you're mid-range.
Hmm. Brandon gets an attack in with his Alliance X-Wing, landing 2 damage on Bosk's base. He did
Boss
manage to develop that last turn. Bosk going for his base now.
Boss feeling pretty stable here. I mean, he's taken only 8 against Sabine. He's at 6 resources. I mean, he's got to be feeling pretty stable.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling good about this game. But one of the things that Sabine has going for her that I think some of the other aggro decks we've seen in this game don't as much is she has more ability to come back from some of these bad situations and more reach than something like a Kylo build might have. Brandon ambushes K2 with ECL to shut down Dr. Pershing, only to have an open fire clear K2, but that with K2's when defeated ability, that is another 3 damage on base. And K2SO is such a good card.
K2 SO is a top 10 card. That thing is just absolutely insane.
Brandon fires off a metal ceremony to give an experience to his Alliance X-Wing only, and then uses Sabine's ability for 1 damage to each base.
Do you think there's an argument to like go for the discard with K2 just to kind of like clear out the hand a little bit? Like
Conceivably.
he's not really like pushing that much damage right now. He just like hit the hand and try to,
Yeah, on the other
you
hand,
know.
though, if your opponent gets to their like biggest endgame stuff, I don't know, I don't really know if you have much of an ability to recover. So maybe you're just trying to do as much damage as you can when you can. I have had situations though where even playing Sabine, it's been, in my opinion, correct to use the damage or the discard on K2 instead of the damage, especially if someone goes down to just 1 card in hand. Sometimes it's like, oh, gotta get that out of there. The
Yeah.
now experienced X-Wing is actually doing some damage itself. Bosk, meanwhile, swinging at the base here. I do wonder if Cody is swinging with Bosk a bit prematurely. It seems to me that it might have been advantageous to have Bosk not swing to potentially hit a unit later. Yeah, like right here, if he had passed or something, he could potentially have Bosk trade for this Fighters for Freedom, which I think would be desirable. But maybe he has a bounty that he wants to double, so he doesn't want to lose Bosk. Doesn't look like it, though. Lieutenant Childson showing 3 cards. Now, the problem with that here is that the Fighters for Freedom are actually a saboteur and can attack past Childson. So we could potentially see Brandon take initiative and swing in for 3, getting through those defenses, but we'll have to see what he ends up going for.
He's still got 4 resources up, so it's tricky.
He does take initiative, it looks like. I think we might just see an immediate attack with that Fighters for Freedom. The saboteur keyword's an interesting one because in a lot of board states it actually has no value at all. But when it's good, it can be really good. And it's kind of funny because with set 3, shields aren't really part of the set, so the saboteur keyword is less valuable, at least in limited play, than it has been in previous sets, since it only works on sentinels and not shields as well. As predicted, the Fighters for Freedom sneak through the defenses there. Oh man, a death mark on them. That's potentially going to be a draw of 4 cards for Bosk with his leader unit ability to double that
Yeah,
bounty.
that is absolutely backbreaking. Boss gonna
That's
be
exactly what we see.
totally loaded up with whatever answer they need for the rest of this game.
Not something that you like to see as the Sabine player, but
We are up to
you'd
21
probably
damage. I mean, that's a
yeah,
lot.
the damage is getting
But
heavy, and you'd probably rather see the Bosk player drawing 4 cards
I
than you
don't.
would see them like healing for 8 off of a top target there. How close are we?
We're at 22 on board, but we've got 6 resources here, so probably like a vigilance or something. Yep.
Oh, vigil. Oh, but he can't kill the X-wing. It's
Yep.
protected by the 1 experience, so he actually goes for a mill. Oh man, he mills some good cards there. A K2 and a Fighters for Freedom and a K2, a for a cause I believe in, and 2 copies of Wrecker enter the discard pile. But milling Sabine is not really the game plan.
We
I
got
think
we got
you
a
really want to be killing and healing, not milling and healing.
we got a glared up. I think that was that 3 cost ship that gives you the plus
Red 3.
the red 3. think I saw it as it was coming down.
This is a little interesting. It seems to me that Cody isn't really finding an answer in the space arena right now, even though his Bosk and Childson have stayed on the board for some time. Oh, For Cause I Believe in goes off. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 damage to the. I think Brendan might make the comeback here.
He's got 2 units. That's going to be hard to deal with
It
both of those. Um,
21 damage on the base now, it looks like.
hmm
He's going through his discard pile. I think he's trying to see what options have been removed. I might just take every single card in that For a Cause reveal just goes to the discard pile, in my
Oh,
opinion.
we need to
None
find
of
the other.
those are cards that you
We
want
need
here.
to find a heroic sack or another for a cause or something.
Yeah, you just want one
What's that?
card.
What's that? Rebel assault.
Oh,
That
dude,
would be
Rebel
crazy.
Assault could be sick here. But I
Uh,
think, do we see an Avenger? Is there going to be an Avenger to take out one of these Rebel units? I think we maybe saw that in hand earlier, and even if not, he has drawn quite a few cards since then between his normal draws and that top target. It looks like he didn't discard those cards. Is that right? I'm not seeing them in the discard. Maybe he put them under the fur cause. I don't think I saw him discard them. Oh, you know what? Maybe he's going to go for the Wing Leader. The Wing Leader is actually very good if we see an Avenger coming out here. Because not only does it buff whichever of those units doesn't get killed, it also provides essentially another body to stand in the way.
I like the coin to put on top of your cards, your hand when you set it down before you go and look at your smuggle row.
Yeah, some people have been doing that as kind of a courtesy type thing, so that if you're looking at resources or similar, it's
Yeah.
less ambiguous. Oh man, Crate Dragon hits the board, but I
I
don't
don't
think
know
Brendan
about
cares
Crate
very much
Dragon.
about a Crate Dragon. He can just push the damage in space.
Oh, it's Crate Dragon does not the answer here.
No, that Avenger would be much
That
more
is,
threatening.
I don't know about Crate Dragon right now.
Another 3 damage from the experienced X-Wing here. That X-Wing pilot is a hero of the rebellion. But you know what? The Crate Dragon can actually swing for lethal here next turn.
I don't think he's going to have a next
Wing
turn.
Leader.
I think it's game
Wing
over.
Leader buffs. Yeah. Yeah, there's no answer. That the Wing Leader buffing that red
Wow.
3 means that Brendan has lethal. He managed to come back and get the win even against a Bosk player that managed to stabilize early in the game and keep Bosk on the field for a long time. What a play.
All right, I'm going to just do a little fast forward for us through the sideboarding and deck
Yep, yep.
deck checking and
It does seem like Cody's Bosk deck did not have, maybe it was just unfortunate draws or what, but he just didn't have an answer to those space units, and they ultimately were able to get the win, even as we had almost total control of the ground arena
that is
for
so
the Bosk player.
it's so bizarre that he was like not able to draw the answer there, considering he had that double talk death mark go off and just
Yeah.
saw like half of his deck or whatever. It's like
Yeah, didn't have
like
the takedown or the Palpatine or whatever it
I
was that
mean,
he would need. He wasn't able to clear it.
Avenger, Palpatine, or maybe he just misstepped. Maybe he had it, he just didn't
Yeah,
math it,
just went for the wrong one.
didn't math it
Didn't
right.
realize he would. Yeah, or thought, oh, I can play the Crate Dragon and then kill him next turn. Didn't realize his opponent might be able to get to lethal. Interesting turn one. It looked like Bosk passed or took initiative, and then Sabine used her ability and then brought out an A-Wing. Okay, I mean that's a good start for Sabine.
Yep, we're just hoping for to dodge that power of the dark side and get a wing leader on it.
So might dodge the power of the dark side, but an open fire lands, so that A-Wing's off the board. And there's
Yes.
red 3, not a bad card, but might well just get picked off. Initiative taken, another Sabine ping. This is one of the things about Sabine that I also like. I was talking about this a bit earlier, but Sabine really does have a lot more reach than the other aggro decks. She especially has more reach in situations where you don't have a unit on the board. She can still be pinging in that damage, and sometimes that really makes the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, it adds up. I mean, these games have been going to round, 8 or 9. I mean, that
Yeah.
Sabine damage
Ooh,
is
power of the dark side
is
clearing red 3.
significant. It's just too easy. It's too easy, 1-to-1 removal like this. It's kind of a argument for kind of going in maybe Sabine yellow or something like that and get those little like 2-3 for 1 ships and
Yeah,
stuff.
multiple small units. Looks like a top target. Top target thrown onto Sabine, but Brendan responds with a confiscate.
Wow.
Confiscate clears the top target, and we then see an Alliance X-Wing hitting the field, and Sabine lands 3 more damage.
Nice play there with the confiscate,
Yeah.
bringing that in presumably out of the sideboard to deal with the
Yeah,
bounties.
very likely a sideboard card because it degrades your for a cause I believe in odds. So in general, Sabine builds, at least ones that are running for a cause I believe in, which I think is most of them. Uh, Putting non-heroism cards into your main deck is like sort of costly, and you only want to do it with like a small number of cards that you think are really good. So confiscate tends to be a sideboard card for those.
Do you think do
Although
you
I
think
don't know.
do you think confiscate is correct versus just like a disabling Fang Fighter? Because you're a red deck. I mean, couldn't you just
Yeah,
push that?
I've thought about this quite a bit. I personally feel that the disabling Fang Fighter I think would have been better in that situation. The confiscate I think is better than Fang Fighter specifically in Sabine mirrors because it's easier to land it against a Dark Saber while also doing other stuff. So for instance, you could flip Sabine and then do a Wing Leader. And if your opponent plays a Dark Saber, you can still use that one resource you have left to land a confiscate. But I do think disabling Fang Fighter is the better card overall. However, I do think the Sabine Mirror is important, and I have seen a bunch of people on Confiscate instead of Fang Fighter. I think largely as a result.
Gotcha. You're just kind of not doing enough with the Fang. It's too much of a resource zap. All right. So what do we have there? Just a trade in to kill Sabine to trigger
I think I think a
something.
make an opening was used on Sabine,
Okay.
and then
And attack with Bosk to clean her up.
yeah, and then Kate, and there was a death mark there as well on Sabine, so I think we saw the draw 4 there. But in the meantime, Brendan was able to develop a K2SO onto the board and also do some additional damage. Even though Sabine had 0 power, I think she still attacked to deal 1 to base with the on attack ability, and the X-Wing scored 2 damage as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like Brandon, he's pushing through a little bit here. I mean, it's a struggle. It seems like Bosk is just powerful. It's just a powerful deck, really hard to deal with.
Bosk Blue is an interesting twist. It's probably not my favorite control deck, but I think it has some very cool stuff going for it. The ability to use those bounties as a removal, especially against low HP units that you can clear quickly, and then also potentially get some big
Ooh, look at
value out of the
that.
bounties. Oh,
9
classic.
damage.
Heroic Sacrifice K2SO. That is a classic play. 4 damage, then 2 more from the Heroic Sacrifice, then the when defeated for 3 more, and you get to draw a card. Oh, but there's Vigilance clearing the Alliance X-Wing and healing the base for 5 there. So both players making some big plays this turn. Another K2SO hits the field. Hey, that's another advantage of that Heroic Sack. He can bring out another copy. Now, I do think Bosk probably just clears K2 here, but the when defeated ability throws another 3 damage on the base.
Does he have an ability to kill Bosk? Or K2? He only hits for 3. Do I?
Bosk's a
Oh,
4/6.
he's a 4 attack. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that guy's good. 4-6.
Yeah, Bosk's pretty good.
I was thinking
One
3-6 for some
one
reason.
one one HP off from the fabled Boba Fett 4/7 at
Yeah,
5 stat
Bosk
line.
is playable. He's one of the
Oh yeah.
he's a good leader from set 2 here.
Yeah, I think Bosk's very real.
If we see any, nerfs to Boba and things like that, these other decks just become better.
There's some other people waiting in the wings. I think we could. Ooh, Wrecker shows up, and I believe he is going to defeat a resource. Or no, it's an ECL Wrecker. So he doesn't
Hmm.
use Wrecker's ability to defeat a resource because he wants to swing into Bosk so that he can score the overwhelm damage. And that's going to be 5 damage from overwhelm, and Wrecker stays on the board only to be hit by a make an opening.
So he nets what 2 damage on that? It's like you're
No, it's more than that because he
okay.
actually hit for 5 since it's
Okay.
7 minus the 2 HP Bosk had remaining, and then he nets 3 damage. So. But he nets 3 damage and Bosk off the field, so
Hmm.
no more threat of doubled bounties.
Well, we're chipping away there. We're at 18 on the base, doing
Yeah,
our best to
and
try
only
to.
4 damage, only 4 damage on Brendan's base, and I believe all of it is actually been inflicted by his own copy of Sabine. I think Brandon has not taken a single attack from his opponent.
So Cody isn't safe yet, but I mean, a little bit of healing. I always
The
thought
more
just like a
clear
little repair. I wonder why these guys just don't pay one to heal three. I mean, I feel like that card is criminally underplayed, but I'm not a control expert. But
I think top target has a similar role to repair, but is often better. It does have the downside of being vulnerable to upgrade removal, but with top target, your one card's potentially healing 6, and even if you play it on a non-unique, you can heal 4. Now there is some difficulty in actually getting it to land. It's not as reliable as repair, but I think because it has a bigger overall payoff, it's more popular for a cause.
okay, we're trying to
Oh,
chain
what
for our
a hit!
causes.
4 for 4, and he sees a K2. So I think I discard everything there except for K2
Yep. Yeah.
if I am Brendan here.
Yeah. K2 definitely keep that and ditch everything else.
Because K2 is guaranteed reach damage, and
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing
Poe,
else.
Wrecker, Fighters for Freedom, they aren't bad cards, but he's already used his energy conversion lab. There's an
He's a
argument,
smart
yeah,
guy. He figured it
yep,
out.
there we go.
Okay. He solved the puzzle. Keep the K2.
5 resources left this turn.
Up to
Ooh,
22.
the client. The client actually it's an interesting card. I think when he was first previewed, people thought he was going to be insane. He ended up worse than people thought, but he's still quite good. He's just not like totally crazy like people thought.
Yeah. The argument someone made was, you have to take actions to like put the bounty on him on your thing you're gonna kill, whereas like maybe you could have just killed that thing right away and not gotten attacked by
Yeah,
it.
like people say, oh, well, you can bounty their A-Wing, but then they get to swing with the A-Wing before you play your removal. So in theory, you just healed 5, but you actually only healed 2 because you could have killed it before it did the damage. I
Right.
think that's true in some situations and not others. I will say, when I played against Cody, the client was a big obstacle for me, which was pretty unfortunate. But
He's setting
so
up
I
a
think,
board.
yeah, he gets a Lieutenant Childson out there.
How's he gonna get that last 7 through? It's quite a tricky situation here.
Sabine ran Explosives Artist, not
Okay,
Oh,
Saboteur does help
so
against the
he
Sentinel.
did play that in the wrong order though. If he had played the Fighters for
Uh-huh.
Freedom first, he could have done 1 damage with its ability when he played Sabine.
That is a good point there, Tower. Let's see if that 1 damage is the equalizer here in
Decisive
this
factor, it
match.
could be. You never know.
Decisive
So I think
factor. There you
how
go.
many counters are there on Childson?
It's hard to tell. He's got some
He's using some
interesting
kind of dye
dice.
or something, and
Yeah.
I can't entirely tell with this camera resolution. But if we
Yeah.
presume he has at least 2, he can swing with Childson and kill the Fighters for Freedom before they get a chance to attack, which I would probably want to do. But maybe we're going to see that situation with the client where you have to decide between the immediate kill versus getting the bounty there. Looks like he's paying for something. Make
Make
an
it
opening on the Fighters for Freedom. Interesting.
so they can hit for 1.
Yeah, I mean,
But
one
they're
is
just they're just gonna get eaten up by something.
swinging for 1 isn't insane. Yeah, there he goes. He decides, hey, 1 damage, fine, I'll do 1 damage.
Interesting.
The
I
client
wonder
puts
if
the bounty on.
what do you think about hitting the client with the Fighters for
Yeah,
Freedom there?
I
The
think you just go for the
Saboteur,
base,
but it knocks the
but no,
shield off, and then
it is true that
you
it
know,
knocks the shield off. I don't know though. Are you going to be able to get through Childson and
probably not, probably not. Yeah,
Sabine crashes into Childson and uses her on attack ability to deal 1 damage to the base. We're up to it looks like 23.
yeah, but we're getting a 5
Childson
heal.
can clear that Fighters for Freedom now though and get the heal for 5 from the client.
Yeah, I think we're getting out of reach here.
Ooh, not even a swing with Childson. We're going to see a make an opening, and there's the 5 heal. 18 HP or 18 damage inflicted, so 12 HP remaining.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna go
need to
down to 11 with another Sabine ping.
we need to go into space like we did last game. That's gonna be our only hope here, I think, with the
Yeah,
Childson.
that was a big victory for Brandon when he was able to get those space units without much recourse. What is this? Oh, that's wild. He plays a forced choke on his own Lieutenant Childson so that he gets to draw a card.
I just
Very interesting.
have you ever seen that tower?
I am not sure I have ever seen that. I'm not sure I have ever seen that play in a tournament. I was aware of it as a theoretical play, but I am unsure that I've ever seen it actually come out.
And now
And
he's
that play
being
is now looking
now
extremely dubious because
he's
Brandon
punished.
now
He's
developed two
punished with the
units.
2 ground units.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Maybe he drew a super laser blast that lets him clear all this stuff. But
Okay,
like,
but
yeah, I don't know. I was surprised by that. I think I would rather have that choke hit Cassian
well,
or
yeah.
K2
I mean, yeah,
rather than
he's
his
got
own unit.
it's the blast.
He's got to have
No,
something.
oh the
Redemption
frigate.
medical frigate.
Uh,
But he's gonna take 7 damage here. From these units
yeah.
are just gonna attack past the client. I don't know that
I don't know about that.
choking his own unit was a good play.
That was that was funky, man. That was
Very
funky.
interesting.
There's no way that
That
was right.
might so oh heroic intervention.
What does that do?
Or a timely intervention. He can ambush
Okay.
a unit in. He ambushes a wing leader to kill Redemption. And he gets to resolve the when played first. So he buffs his ground arena, which is now open thanks to Childson being off the board. That's crazy. I
Jeez.
think Cody may have just lost this game. It's not over yet, but he's going to take 8 damage on the ground this turn. Once K2 is defeated, that's going to be another 3. And the Redemption didn't even stick to be a sentinel in the space arena.
What does the ECL really accomplish there, though? It just maybe prevents an attack to the base from
It,
the
it was it wasn't
redemption?
ECL. It was
Oh, the
it was
timely.
a
Yeah.
timely intervention. And I think
He just wanted to
I don't know.
clear.
I
That
mean,
was like his way of clearing off that redemption.
yeah, maybe he has
Yeah.
another space unit that he's going to play this turn. It is in the Redemption Medical Frigate, I believe, is a Sentinel. So by
Mhm.
killing it, he opens the space lane again.
I mean, he's up to 25 with a ready Cassian. Like just a crazy turn of events here. That force choke really affecting the overall board state.
Yeah, that is not how I expected this to go. That is wild.
I think we're gonna see a game 3. I just don't see we're sitting at 29. We're
Well, what do you
scooping.
mean in game 3? Brandon won the last one. He
Oh,
got it with that X-wing, so he just won the match.
did we miss something? Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know.
No, I think Cody may have scooped. I think he was done. I don't think he has a way. I
Okay.
don't think he has a way to clear that because even if he fires off a super laser blast, he's got 20. Yeah, he's got 27 damage on his base. Even if he fires super laser blast, he loses to K2's when defeated
Mhm.
effect.
Yep, you're right.
What a scenario!
Yeah, you're right. We're up. Sabine won both matches. We're trying to sort this out over here at Late Night Gaming, trying to see exactly what's going on.
Yeah. So I think that was a scoop from Cody,
Scoop,
and
and they just walked away. And I just
I think
have
those cards that we saw. I think Brandon had like shown some of the cards that
okay.
were. I think he had shown some of the cards that were in his hand. Like he showed that he had that for a cause I believe in or something. Yeah, let's watch that. Let's watch that again. I think that's what happened, but I don't know for sure.
I think he just had lethal on the board. There's 29 on the
Yeah.
base.
So he
Yeah.
cleans up. Yeah, it looks like he's cleaning stuff up here.
Sorry, I'm just trying to go back, figure out what's going on. But yeah, just showed him for a cause that we had a fist bumps.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually played the for a cause or if he
He
showed
just
it
plays
after the
this.
scoop
He,
or
he
what.
plays this. He's got 29 on the base, and we just shows him. I don't know. We did get a scoop,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's it. I don't know. I know that Cody wins or Brandon wins 2-0. So
Yeah, I think he either played the for a cause to win the game,
or he showed it to
or there
him.
was
He
some
just
combination of showing it and scooping, or
yeah
scooping and then
yeah
showing it, or
right
yeah.
right yeah. Okay.
Wh-
All right. So
Well,
that's
congratulations to Brandon. That was impressive. What a scenario. In both games, it looks like Bosk might have stabilized, but Sabine came back to get the win.
definitely interesting. And that brings us to round 7, which we'll be putting up here on Late Night Gaming. So definitely check that one out. And again, thank you to TowerNumber9 for guest commentary.
Yeah, happy to be here, Paul.
All right. See you next time, guys.
Later.